Stick it close to your desk and never go to sea, and you all may be rulers of the Queen's Navy. Well, good morning, good morning. The very few people who have viewed these gustatory episodes have commented in unison, "Oh, this will be so nice for your children to watch and your grandchildren." Well, maybe. I don't think they're going to watch it. I think they've had enough of me. Okay, what are we having this morning, by the way? Well, I don't know what you're eating for breakfast, but I'm having fried eggs, fried fish, and a baked potato with some sour cream on it. And the baked potato is on a bed of parsley. And, of course, my bolillo, or bolito, however you say it, with some cream cheese spread. This stuff comes from Christmas time. People get this stuff at Christmas and forget about it until they clean out their attic and they find it. I guess it's still good. It didn't say it had to be refrigerated. I'll find out. This happens to be cheddar flavor, so been nice knowing you. Not so bad. Dessert is an Aero candy bar. It's made by Nestle, but you know you can't buy these in the United States. Not good enough. They don't use cocoa butter. They just use cocoa powder and powdered milk. This is for like Mexico and Asia. Isn't good enough for us Americans. Alright, I've been thinking about this fish all morning. Good fish. Parsley. I mean, I ate almost all my meals with the kids while I was there when they were growing up. So why would they want to see me eat another meal? Or listen to me? Yeah, I'm hearing bells too. Don't worry about it. I can only remember having breakfast with my dad twice in my life. Once I was real little. I think I was getting ready to go to kindergarten. He put me on his lap. He was a coffee drinker. And he gave me a sip of his coffee. And I immediately threw up on his lap. Second time, I remember having breakfast with him. No one had taught me how to use a fork or a spoon, so I was holding my fork like this while I was cutting up my eggs. He looked over at me and said matter-of-factly, "You eat like a monkey." It hurt my feelings. So as far as I know, those are the only two times I ever ate breakfast with my dad. Of course, I ate a lot of dinner, especially Sunday dinner, with him. He usually didn't get home till late. He worked 2 jobs. So I wasn't around that much during the week. Not around much on Saturdays either. He'd go to the Pine Tavern and play cards. But he did make it a point to be home for Sunday dinner. The big meal of the week. Never mind those bells. Or am I the only one hearing them? Could be. I remember at my dad's funeral, after the services, my brothers and sisters and I sat in the backyard of the house with Mom. And had a little, I guess you'd call it a wake or remembrance. A lot of laughs. Most of it was kind of rueful laughter. About his drinking, his infidelities. We always came back to the same thing. Well, no matter what, he always worked 2 jobs and managed to keep a roof over our heads. And we always had enough to eat. Yeah, we did. No doubt about that. When my mother was cleaning out for the final time his sock drawer, she found a ton of IOUs from most of the movers and shakers in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Over the years, my dad had loaned them all money. Couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. None of these bigwigs, like Art Naftalin, remember that name, ever paid it back that we know of. Nobody knew he was even loaning the money out. And we have no idea where I got the money to begin with. Of course, this was back in the days when he was a bartender. When you'd leave a tip at the bar, and a lot of times it was those Eisenhower silver dollars. My dad had a mess of those. Strange to say. And back in those days, you didn't report to the IRS your tips. Well, I guess you were supposed to, but nobody did. And the IRS didn't seem to care. It's a morbid thought, of course, but sometimes I wonder what my kids will say about me at my funeral. Well, he was a good circus clown. Or maybe, well, he finally stopped picking his nose. I think that's about the best that can be said of me. So, Now, don't get me wrong. I am very thankful for each one of my kids. Even the ones I hardly know. I don't care what anybody says, and I know some people have been very critical. I would not have had it any other way. Having 8 kids is great, in retrospect. At the time, well, at the time, I don't know. Well, I hope you're saying plenty right now, because I have very little to say. Except that this fish is good. Fish for breakfast, I think, is an excellent idea. If I could afford it more often, I'd do it every day. Outstanding. I wrote my Romney poem this morning, as always. It was very short, and it wasn't very good. And it was really hard to do. On an intellectual level, I think it's a good idea to write a poem a day for Mitt Romney from now until the election. That may make it into the history book some way, somehow. I don't know. But at a gut level, I'm already bored of him and his campaign. And I don't want to write anything more. I guess I should just read up on him more. Maybe I'll even go to his blog site. I don't know. I'd rather read the New York Times or Chicago Tribune or something. I guess I'll just Google his name and see what comes up and read about him. I'm sure he's an interesting person. I mean, come on, somebody who's made all that money, been in the business world. I find business people often are very interesting. When you can get them to talk about themselves. So often they don't. And like me, who is dedicating all this digital wasteland to myself. I try never to go over 15 minutes. I'm not even done with my breakfast. But you know what? The phone calls are coming in like crazy this morning. I don't know why. But I guess I better go answer them. What I get paid to do. So I will leave you folks here. And we'll take up this discussion again tomorrow.